Hey guys, how are we doing? Back with another video from Nuxtaku, and a few of you have been asking for this. I did want to do this Million Special one. I'll probably do that in January now. This one, feels more relevant, because it's the most impactful anime of the decade. We're coming to the end of the decade here, and be interesting to see what moments he's picked out. Going from the thumbnail though, I do believe we're going to have sort of like Hunter x Hunter moments. Sword Art Online definitely changed like what was popular. Isekai is all the range now. Attack on Titan, bam, that was one hell of an impact on anime this decade. Dragon Ball Super coming back was pretty freaking awesome. The fan base was like, whoa! We got Funko Pops all over the place in here about that. Yeah, let's see what Nux has to say.
So now that the year is ending and everyone is collectively going crazy, oh my god, what's the greatest anime of the year?
One Punch Man, man. Yeah, My Hero Academia, man.
Lord Nuxenor comes around and drops a bomb. Here are the most impactful anime moments in the last decade.
Sweet.
So I wanted to see what this decade was all about. So I went back, and through painstaking labor and devotion, I literally went through everything. All of the community stuff, all of the anime, everything. Here is a chronological list of how the last decade unfolded, purely comprised of only the most impactful of anime.
Oh, cool.
Come on this journey with me. I think a lot of this will not be of a surprise to you, but I believe most of it will. Now let's share a lovely teary-eyed moment where we grin and look back nostalgically at this wonderful decade. All the highs, all the lows, and I originally wanted to include a lot of like really trolly moments in here, and well, I'm not saying that I'm not including any trolly moments in here, but after putting it all together, I came to really love this video. I'm very proud of it, and I hope you enjoy this journey through space and time.
This is gonna be good.
These are by no means my favorite anime moments of the last decade.
But they're most
I'm
impactful.
not including Log Horizon or World Trigger, which are personal favorites, but I don't think really impacted the scene all that much. But here's how the spacescape of anime has changed over the last decade and the community that went along with it. So to all of you that hopped on the anime train at some point within the last 10 years, as Gandalf said to Frodo back in Lord of the Rings, let's go! I feel like a very fitting place to begin this journey is on May 25th, 2010, because that is the day that Ichigo first fought against Ulquiorra in Bleach. So as far as Bleach goes, one of the titans of the previous decade, for me personally, this was the high point. Ichigo versus Ulquiorra is my favorite fight in Bleach.
It's incredible.
And it really understands what a battle shonen can actually succeed in doing. They managed to get someone like Ichigo, who's the most human character that's going out of his way to save his friends. Literally every single arc. And you got Ulquiorra, this heartless bastard,
just literally
having no qualms in making people suffer and die. And here you got this epic fight and this amazing turn of events, where in the latter half of the battle, Ichigo is the one who loses his heart.
He turns into a monster.
And Ulquiorra is the one that finds his. It's the ultimate dichotomy between a human and a monster, completely getting swapped and becoming one of the most emotionally compelling, aside from the visual awesomeness, fights of all time. This was just the beginning of the decade, though. But when it comes to massive climactic battles that had years of foreshadowing and planning, I don't think it beat what happened next. Because just 1 week after Ichigo versus Ulquiorra, in June 3rd of 2010, Naruto fought Pain. Naruto's a series that's been with us for a very long time. At this point in Naruto's journey, it's only been about 10 years old, and honestly,
but then the animation was awful. Or was it?
That was being set up to the entire series. A lot of people like to point their fingers at different moments in Naruto that really encapsulates what the story is supposed to be. And as far as leading up to a fight, nothing beats Naruto versus Pain. The entire story was about
conflicting
Naruto,
ideologies
that everyone despised for just existing. And he said, no, this village will come to love me, need me, and praise me. And this is when that finally happened. Naruto versus Pain was that crucial fight where someone actually wiped out the entire Leaf Village, and literally Naruto was their only hope. He learns Sage Mode, which was obviously paying homage to Jiraiya, going up against Pain, who's a brilliant adversary. To be quite frank, both Naruto and Pain want the same thing. They're both students of Jiraiya.
Just in different
Naruto
ways.
Wants a world of peace through ideals, and Pain says that an idealistic approach will never bring you to peace. Pain says the only way to break the cycle of pain is with even greater pain. The scariest part of Pain is that you actually get to hear where he's coming from, and the guy actually starts making a lot of sense. What
In a
an
way,
anime
yeah.
villain starts making sense? Of course,
Nani?
they had to give him like 45 piercings on his face, or else I wouldn't even believe it myself. But here comes this massive climax that Naruto actually wins with a thematically brilliant opponent. This is the fight that you learn that Naruto's father's the fourth Hokage. This is the
Well, we
fight that
kinda-
Naruto manages to revenge his sensei, and this is the fight where his personal story comes to a close.
God, with the whole Nine-Tails stuff in it. Oh.
Finally rooting for their hero after all this time. Naruto vs. Pain is a massive climax in the Naruto story, and it's a crazy way to start off the decade. In June 26th of 2010, that's when the final episode of the anime Angel Beats aired. So, it's funny. When I watched Angel Beats, I absolutely loved it, and the final episode made me really tear up, like it did to many, many other people. Angel Beats was an introduction to so many into a whole other world of anime. Many people only watch shonen because that's what they got into anime with. I mean, you start off with Dragon Ball, you never really leave King Kai's Little Rock, if you know what I'm saying. Angel Beats started off as a solid comedy. It didn't really add anything as far as storytelling or plot, but then when the ending actually happened, and it hit hard, it showed an entire new side of anime to so many people. Wait a second, these two-dimensional cartoons that just like power up, scream, and beat the snot out of each other can make you cry?
Yeah, like what's that about?
But yeah,
How dare you make me feel
it's
things?
terrifying, but it also opens
I just
your
came here
eyes
for
to
fun.
an entire new world. And speaking of the new world, less than a month later, in July 18th of 2010,
That says June,
that's
okay.
when the Marineford War started in One Piece. This war
Oof.
was like nothing that ever preceded it, and nothing that showed up since. When it comes to anime, the massive
I
climax
really,
war is
really
where
need to
every
get into One
character
Piece. If I
ever
hit
alive
10k
and
before the
dead
end of the
managed
year,
to
I
gather
promise
in
I
one
will get
little
into it.
spot and cause absolute hell. In Naruto, it was like the fourth great ninja war. Everyone was
Right.
there. But in One Piece, the really crazy part is the Marineford War happens at like the halfway point of the story. We're a decade in, so we have a ton of characters, but we didn't even find the new world yet. We're literally in the baby phases of One Piece, and you get this massive battle that transcends anything anyone's seen. It really finally introduces you to the forces of power in this world that we've come to, well, think that we know about, and then it turns out, no, we actually didn't know anything. There's the world government, there's the warlords, there's the emperors, and now you kind of see where everyone's coming from. You have someone like Akainu. He's the leader of the Marines. This mad lad is authoritarian incarnate. He cares about rules. If you break the rules, he will beat your ass.
Damn.
And then on the flip side, when we're talking about pirates, you got Blackbeard. Blackbeard is the perfect quintessential pirate because he is anarchy incarnate. He don't care about morals. He don't want to listen to no one, and he pulls the wool over everyone's eyes to get what he needs. You have this clash of Akainu and Blackbeard in the Marineford War, and you also get to learn how many other sides to every coin there are. We view Marines as sort of bad guys because they're chasing Luffy, but when you see a pirate like Blackbeard, there's a good reason for pirates
why they
to
exist.
be executed.
Right.
But then on the flip side, you see a guy like Whitebeard. Whitebeard has a force to match the world government, and he's like the nicest guy ever. This war sets the entire political and ideological squabble of One Piece into motion, and brilliantly sets up the new world. It brilliantly introduces the entire new aspect to the story, and it was a war like none we've seen. It was an incredible war, and an amazing way to start off this decade. Moving on to 2011.
All right.
On January 21st, episode 3 of Madoka Magica aired. And
Right.
Madoka
Never seen this,
Magica,
but
well,
okay.
aside from being a personal favorite, I absolutely love this show. It was like every other magical girl show. I mean,
Oh, I have
everyone
seen that little
remembers
thing on
Sailor
her shoulder
Moon.
flying
Everyone
around the
remembers,
tags of pictures.
all you have to do is like dance and shoot magic
Sailor
laser
Moon.
people, and everything will be good, nice, happy, and dandy. And then episode 3 of Madoka Magica kind of decapitated that entire thought process, kind of literal. It was a subversion of tropes, the likes of which I personally have never seen before, and it really gives anime kind of a new definition at this point. Since Madoka Magica, you have a lot of really gory, creepy, magical girl shows. You got like Magical Girl Sight, and you got that other one where they all have to like split into fate kind of parties and they all kill each other. Yeah, magical girls were not the same genre after Madoka Magica.
Right.
Episode 3 honestly scared the crap out of me at the time that I watched it. I watched the first episode, wasn't so into it. I was like, whatever, this kind of sucks. I don't really see the hype. Saw the second episode, I was like, alright, it's cutesy girls. What am I doing? And then I saw episode 3, and I remember I watched it at like 2 a.m., and then I spent the rest of the night just watching Madoka Magica. It was a very
Oh, wow,
good
okay,
night,
you just
but
hooked
it's
you
not like I
in.
would have been able to sleep anyway. The magical girl genre was completely changed by Madoka Magica, and honestly, getting the writer, Gen Urobuchi, to write Madoka Magica, because this guy's a master of subversion, changed the landscape of what good anime writing was.
Right.
Honestly, no anime author, in my personal opinion, is his equal when it comes to the writing and directing of any given series.
Damn.
You will hear from him again.
Hey guys, Core here. Just a quick editor's note. Just wanted to share my 2 cents as someone who would consider myself to be a pretty big fan of Mahou Shoujo. I wouldn't say that Madoka really changed what magical girl shows are. There were plenty of dark magical girl shows that came out before Madoka. For instance, Princess Tutu, which came out in 2004.
Okay.
And Angel Nurse Ririka, which came out in 1995. But I think the key difference is that a lot of these shows weren't as popular in the West, and Madoka was very successful
In the West.
with its Western audience.
Right, okay, so it was not
And
more
even
noted.
shows like Sailor Moon are probably darker than you remember.
Because of
However,
edits, right, okay, that's
in
interesting.
English release,
'Cause,
a lot
yeah.
of those elements were censored
Oh,
or
wow.
toned down for the Western audiences, so the perception, it makes sense that it's changed more drastically. And also for a lot of these shows, yeah, they're not quite as upfront with what darkness is to come. A lot of that doesn't come till pretty well into the series, rather than, literally episode 3 as Madoka does. So that's just my 2 cents.
On September 14th in 2011, the second last episode of Steins Gate aired, and I remember very vividly
My
watching
God.
it, and that it immediately became the time travel
Steins
anime.
Gate is
There was
so
nothing
good.
that
I
came
love it.
close to the absolute greatness of Horin Kyoma and the best solution to a time-traveling problem ever. I mean, in Rick and Morty, they sent testicle monsters against trans-dimensional time-traveling
Yeah.
snakes, but hey, I personally even prefer Steins Gate to that. Yes,
Hell yeah.
and I'm a Rick and Morty stan, okay? Steins Gate changed the game, and honestly,
So
I'm not doing a most impactful manga moments of the decade, but a certain thing that happened with Eren in Attack on Titan. But aside from
Okay.
that, nothing comes close to Steins Gate in the time travel genre, which is something that always needs to be around.
The manga's
I
so
love
good as well. I've got
time
all
shiz, but I
3.
hate
It's only
most
3
time
volumes,
shiz
the
'cause it
manga.
doesn't do it right. The ultimate dilemma. Give me time shiz, but don't make it suck. So difficult. To be fair, even if you have an IQ of a
So
fine
interesting. Every
code,
time something
you'll
else
still be
happens
able
with
to
the
point out
time
plot
stuff,
holes
it's like,
in
ah!
almost every time travel story. As interesting as it is, it's almost impossible to get right, and Steins Gate did. June 16th of 2012, we got introduced to another one of Gen Urobuchi's masterpieces, and that
Fate
was
Zero.
the second to last episode of Fate Zero.
Yeah.
So Fate Zero defined a lot of the
So
early
good.
tens for me, because honestly,
I've only got
it's
into
one
the
of my
Fate stuff
5
this
favorite
year.
anime of all time, and I could talk about
Haven't I?
every scene
Or have I?
throughout.
You guys tell me.
Like Spider out of thin air was mind-blowing. But what's even more impressive than that is you have a million Battle Royale anime at this point. I mean, aside from the fact that there's Fate Stay Night, another Fate Stay Night, a third Fate Stay Night, Fate Apocrypha, Fate Extra, Fate Liner Prisma Ilia, Fate Grand
Grand
Order,
Order.
and 1.5 million more Fates.
My God.
Nothing comes close to Fate Zero. I mean,
Zero's
Fate
so
was
good.
written by this mad lad that actually really nails home what a battle royale needs to be. There's no defined protagonist to the Fate Zero
Nope.
story because we're looking from everyone's
Perspective, yeah,
Because of
that's what makes it so
we can
interesting.
understand the different ideologies
Don't
that
focus on just one
exist,
person.
Whether it's Kiritsugu's
Focus on everyone and make it
utilitarianism,
interesting.
or it's Saber's quest for honor, or it's Gilgamesh's absolute pride. No matter what it is, everyone has an ideological focus and a different reason as to why they want the Grail, which is basically a wish-granting cup. Now, when Kiritsugu actually gets close enough in the second to last episode of Fate Zero,
Oh my
the Grail begins to really
God.
break down his psychology and begins to teach you a pretty important lesson. Yeah, fam, every ideology's cool, but every ideology's wrong. You gotta get a blend. And if you're too hammered down to your one fight for justice mentality, fam, you're gonna get burned. Fate Zero does this brilliantly, and it remains as one of my favorite moments of all time. But now we're in 2012.
Cool.
Now we can talk about a wonderful show where episode 1 aired on July 8th, in
Ooh.
fact. It's
Sword Art Online. Here we go.
A lovely, widely beloved series that I think everyone, and I mean everyone, enjoys. And I'm definitely putting episode 1 here as one of the most impactful anime moments.
Hell
of the
yeah, I'd never
decade.
seen anything like it.
Kaiba Akihiko said, "Fam, if you're stuck in the game,
You-
sucks for you.
Yeah,
If you
die in the game,
you
die
get
in real
eaten
life."
In real life. Okay, he wasn't as cool with the lingo. But you hear where I'm coming from. Episode 1, the entire anime community on YouTube. I wasn't around as far as a channel, but I was around as far as a viewer. Everyone was like, God damn, SAO's the greatest thing ever. Isekai
and then
anime being trapped in another world.
First half season 1 finished, and it's like,
had a couple
what they're doing?
There. I mean, you had Dot Hack and you had Excel World, but Sword Art Online was so big, it spawned this entire new genre, and we will be hearing about more isekai anime as we get further down
like I said, isekai is so popular now.
Everyone. It's the ultimate escapist fantasy story that
I want to be in a video game.
Thrilling moments and your brilliant protagonist. I mean, look at it. Look at this guy. Kirito, he's like, if only he had a halo, he'd be literal Jesus, but unfortunately, you know, was not to be. Of course, the reason why SAO gets a ton of hate in the community at this point is because of certain people that made a ton of money hating on it. Thankfully, people cared about it enough to want to watch it get absolutely shredded. I personally think if the first episode wouldn't have been as captivating as it was, in a time where isekai anime was not so prevalent, it would have never gotten this hate treatment. People wouldn't have cared. If I would tell you, oh man, I like hating on that one random isekai that aired last season, no one gives a damn. But by the fact that everyone in the community was so hooked on SAO, has a novel premise and a damn good setting.
Yes, it's awesome. The setup for the
the hate train began to follow. We're not done with 2012 yet. October 6th of 2012 was episode 151 of Fairy Tail. And that was the first episode of the Grand Magic Game. So, the thing about Fairy Tail is you either love it or hate it. I don't know a lot of people that are absolutely neutral on Fairy Tail. Like, oh yeah, no one does that. And if they do, it's because they don't want to get, like, political or anything. You either love it or you hate it. And the Fairy Tail's Grand Magic Games is exactly
I'm very much like, yeah, Fairy Tail's okay.
Love it or hate it. The Grand Magic Games took place right after
I did
Fairy
drop off of it, though.
Was knocked off the map for 7 years, and they come back, and you want to see your heroes do well, because at this point, the Fairy Tail Guild is getting crapped on
I think I watched it just before this.
Because, well, you know, they lost their 4 members for 7 years. The Grand Magic Games is a literal tournament arc. It's not like these world-defining, save the planet, or all human life will come to an end type trials or tribulations. Nah, fam, it's a big-ass tournament where we watch our heroes shine. And being that I made an hour-long video on Fairy Tail,
I don't know whether to check it out or not. I might do in January.
The Grand Magic Games is a microcosm of why you love or hate the show. The Fairy Tail haters hate the Grand Magic Games most. It has no reason to be as major of a thing as it was. Who cares if the Fairy Tail Guild is being recognized by pulling out ass pulls and wiping the floors with their opponents? Why do I care? Let them save the world or something. But on the other hand, the people that are watching Fairy Tail that actually feel like they are a part of the Fairy Tail Guild, watching your guildmates kick ass is glorious. I personally love the Grand Magic Games, but it's this very divisive nature of Fairy Tail in general, whether you want to watch it with a hypercritical eye or you just want to watch it and open your heart to the feels, because the feels are there. The Grand Magic Games accentuates all of these points.
Yeah.
And a week later, on October 12th, aired the first episode of Psycho Pass. Psycho Pass, also
damn!
written by Gen Urobuchi.
One hell of an episode as well.
Dystopia anime. There is no dystopian anime, in my personal opinion, that comes close to Psycho Pass. It's literally society gone too far, and that's only the beginning. As twisted and messed up as you think the world is, it continuously tricks you by getting even more twisted and more messed up. Yes, absolutely brilliant, I know, but honestly, even messing with the first episode kind of does spoil the impact of the ending of the first episode and what makes it so great. The idea is that
opening
this
episode
world is governed by this Sybil system, this crazy system that could say, oh, this person is very likely to commit a crazy act based on his brain waves. So then all of a sudden, the detectives are like, alright fam, let's shoot him with these crazy neutralizer gun things. And because of this, there's so much less crime. All you gotta do, neutralize the guys that are likely to commit crime.
What was that film with Tom Cruise in?
The very first
Minority Report, wasn't it? It's similar to that.
Sexually assault someone, and that person that was assaulted, all of a sudden, she starts getting pretty nasty thoughts. All of a sudden, her brainwaves are not exactly good Samaritan brainwaves, if you know what I'm saying.
Because she's had a lot of stuff.
Has to be taken in as a lady.
Yeah.
And being that the system is as messed up as it is, the villain of Psycho Pass, Makishima, is the guy who's like, nah fam, I can keep a calm head even while I'm blowing people's brains out. So according to your system, I'm not even a criminal.
Yeah.
Now, let me tear this future apart. Psycho Pass is
rip
brilliant.
everything
It does
down.
an amazing job accentuating exactly what a dystopian fantasy should be. Now welcome to 2013.
2013, man.
Because on April 7th, Attack on Titan took the world. And you know I'm serious, because they said the world. Not the world. Fam, Attack on Titan hit the normies.
My God, did it? It brought so...
Also around the same time as the Wrecking Ball.
Amazing. It brought in so many people into anime.
I know. Nothing broke out of the anime fandom.
I discovered Crunchyroll because of this.
I mean, sure, you got kids watching Dragon Ball that they didn't even know it was anime. What? It was originally Japanese.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan is the first anime that really broke out that people watched.
There we go.
Knew as anime. They still watched it and they got into it. A lot of people transferred over to become more general anime fans, and a lot of people just stuck to that AOT hype because hype is what it got. Attack on Titan killed it in the hype department. Nothing came close. Watching people that I knew for years that never wanted anything to do with anime getting excited to talk about the latest development in Attack on Titan was mind-blowing. This is
everyone
when
was talking about it. Everyone.
And this is when a pathway opened where you don't gotta be that one nerdy kid in school to like anime. Anyone can watch it. Attack on Titan was monumental. It was a titan on the
Hell yeah, it was a titan.
Any of you that have been even relatively close to the anime fandom in 2013 very clearly remember the impact of this series.
Yep, definitely.
A little later in 2013, on October 3rd, Kill la Kill started, and it was a series that a lot of people liked to say it is what saved anime. Now, I wouldn't go so
I won't go that far either.
Saved anime,
but it is amazing.
We all know that Gentai saved anime.
Of course.
Kill, well, it came close on the saving anime department and on the Gentai department, which is a beautiful mesh of awesomeness. And even though Kill la Kill is not one of my personal favorite series,
it is
a series that has the wacky extravagance of anime. It has the over-the-top fan service, and somehow manages to tie it back to some super deep plot.
Yeah, it's like it's integral to the story.
Based on the society that divides us.
It's so clever, and it's so over the top, and it's fun.
Not wear clothes. Yeah, I know. It's one of those over-the-top, ridiculous plots that would
only
work in anime, and it works in anime. It's the most anime in years, and it's amazing.
It's the most anime.
Speaking of very anime, well, more of that stuff started as well.
Ooh.
May 24, 2014, the waifu wars have begun. Nisekoi, a series with a plethora of women, each fitting a very individual type of fetish, whether you like the tsundere.
Nisekoi, right, yeah.
You like the creepy tomboy assassin, or you just straight up like lollies, or psycho demented yanderes. You got everything. Welcome to Waifu Wars, the beginning of an era where every single girl becomes a waifu war. I don't remember when the community went ham over anything before Nisekoi. Since then, you have it for everything. ReZero, Konosuba, My Hero Academia. Nothing is safe of the waifu wars. No. Thank you. Thank you, Nisekoi, for starting it all. Even though you were kind of average, on April 9th of 2014, No Game No Life started. And remember that isekai genre I told you about? Well, we already had things like Log Horizon pop up in between.
But this
No Game No Life is the second isekai to really get popular. It's the first isekai anime that really blew up that wasn't trapped in a game. It was trapped in an alternate world, and it was definitely
based around games.
Influenced by the idea that the protagonist is overpowered and you're in an escapist fantasy where he gets a harem. All of that remains the same, but the battle system swapped from defeat low-level monsters to gain more experience to defeat higher-level monsters to all of a sudden Death Note. That's right, you got escapist fantasy Death Note. The crazy strategies, the over-the-top bamboozles. That's what we have in No Game No Life, and in my personal opinion, something that really popped off exactly why No Game No Life was the phenomenon that it was the aesthetic. I am not a person that will only like a certain series based on the aesthetic, but the aesthetic of No Game No Life is amazing.
It's amazing.
The color palette is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Bright, vibrant colors, how everything is popping, how everyone is excited.
Everything looks really interesting on screen, man.
Every movement and motion that just makes this fantasy world governed by games so much more fantastical. It's a whole new world, if you know what I'm saying, quite literally. But as far as 2014 goes, No Game No Life is only the very, very beginning, because only 1 week after No Game No Life began, April 16th, we had the cataclysmic battle of Meruem versus Neto.
Wow, what a fight.
Because low-key, no, high-key, nothing comes close to this.
Such a good fight, man.
Story of Meruem, the monster in this scenario that wants to wipe out humanity.
But he also wants to know his name.
I do not want to kill you. And then you have humanity, who's fighting to survive because they are the moral beings in the situation, and Netero says, I know you don't want to kill me, but we're gonna have to fight to the death anyway. It flips the scale on exactly what's going on, and it takes Netero blackmailing Meruem into fighting him in order to get the fight going. It does not have a happy ending. In fact, it has as far as a happy ending as possible.
Yeah.
And the fight between these two metaphorical giants was something that, yes, we've seen massive battles before in anime,
but this was
so
good. So good.
I think Meruem versus Netero is one of the decade-defining fights that, even though Ichigo versus Ukiura and Naruto versus Pain were fantastic, and I love both
this
of them,
trumps
really
them,
felt
man.
like the entire ideology of humanity was fighting the ideology of monstrosity, and both sides were losing. This hits on an emotional level as well as on a psychological level, but most of all on a thematic level. The entire story is building up to a fight of these two giants, and the fight was nothing short of spectacular. I get chills just thinking about the ferocity of Netero and the complacency of Meruem.
Spinning around, hitting him.
Switched completely as the fight neared its climax. Hunter x Hunter is a fantastic series, and Meruem versus Netero is the absolute cream of the crop. And I know that you think nothing's gonna beat this in 2014. As far as 2014 goes, we got it in the bag. Meruem versus Netero defined the goddamn year aside from the decade. But no, because October 4th introduced us to Lord Twigo.
Oh, God.
You know, I just blew your minds a little bit, but I'm not gonna dwell on that much. I mean, we all know Lord Twigo, right? I'm gonna keep going. Don't want to spend the rest of the video talking about Lord Twigo.
Okay, alright.
Sorry, man. That's not what this video is about. September 19, 2014, Kaneki fought Jason in
Tokyo Ghoul, man.
Tokyo Ghoul fans came together because the manga had a massive following, and everyone probably cried a silent tear because, honestly, Kaneki vs. Jason is one of the greatest anime fights of all time.
The music's great. I
loved it, and I am not an avid Tokyo Ghoul fan.
No, but season 1 was great.
I only know the very, very, very many anime adaptations that, well, we'll be talking about them soon. Moving on to 2015, we're about halfway through the decade, and it started off pretty epic. January 9, 2015, that's when Tokyo Ghoul fans began to completely lose hope, because Season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul started, and it was garbage. Yeah, it was an impactful thing that happened this decade. My heart goes out to you, Tokyo Ghoul fans. It's like the Berserk 2016 monstrosity that I'm not even going to talk about. It's too sad to me. My condolences. On March 19th, we had the finale of Your Lie in April. As far as romance anime go, I feel like most don't hit the broad market. As far as anime in general, it's very hard
you're gonna make me
to
cry.
Mainstream. I feel like Shonen has the best chance.
Your Lie in April's finale, man.
Slice of Life are very interesting media-related series that actually get out there. As far as romance, only the niche anime fans that like romance are really avid fans of the entire genre. Your Lie in April hit everyone, because whether you're a romance fan or not, you definitely heard of it. I like romance anime quite a bit. Your Lie in April, though, flips the tables on everything.
So good.
Because when we're thinking romance stories, we're either thinking a happy ending or Shakespeare. And I don't want to be that guy, but Shakespeare sucks balls. I mean, pardon me. It's just my personal, humble, wrong opinion. Your Lie in April makes everyone break down when you get to the end. And there are other series in this decade that I wanted to talk about for that impact as well. Like something like Anohana has probably like the saddest ending in anime. But I feel like Your Lie in April hit on such a much larger scale. It hit everyone. It was in this little drought of this type of anime. It was surrounded in that.
To be honest, I'd never watched anything like it before. I'm not into my musical animes, so I was like, but then.
Even though I preferred 3 Gatsu no Lion personally to something like Your Lie in April, I do think the impact from Your Lie in April hit a lot harder. But enough with the sad sappiness.
Yes.
Enough with the crying yourself to sleep at night. Prepare to laugh and smile at the sky. Because smack in the middle, May 29,
what did we have?
2015. Welcome, women and gentlewomen, to Jotaro versus Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. My favorite fight in all of anime.
My God! His finger moved out! The
memes were everywhere. Since
Incredible.
2015, this very same fight has been reiterated into a million different memes. Whether they're playing Uno or they're playing Smash Bros, Or they're just freaking approaching each other. Ooh, you're approaching me? Yeah, everyone is approaching JoJo's to meme the crap out of it. It's been 5 years and the memes are going stronger than ever right as we speak. You got Dio walking, you got Dio talking, you got Dio dropping a Roda. Every bit of this fight has been so memed. It is the internet culture of anime fights, and I love it. Mad respect for freaking existing, JoJo's. I love you. And unfortunately, I can't just sit here praising the crap out of Jotaro versus Dio for the next hour. So,
damn it.
We having to move on to November 7th of 2020.
Okay.
Because that is the day that episode 5 of Parasite aired.
Oh, you know what, right? I dropped Parasite.
There are a lot of seasonal anime that
my girlfriend loves Parasite. She keeps telling me I need to get back into it.
Week to week, holding my breath for an entire week until the next episode comes out, but none cemented my love for seasonal anime like Parasite the Maxia. From episode 5 till the finale, episode 24, it was a non-stop thriller.
Right, you see, I watched the first 3 episodes and I was like, oh.
This is seasonal anime at its finest. I'm not talking about things like Akame ga Kill, which got ridiculously popular and then people were upset at the end of every week, or it ended in a cliffhanger, or they killed some random character that didn't die in the manga. This
yeah,
was,
like, what was that about?
From a political standpoint, and it was even more interesting on a character standpoint. Parasite had everyone holding their breath for the entire runtime straight, and it was glorious. But as far as glorious moments, 2015 definitely had some good ones. But right at the end of the year, December 20th,
what happened?
Is when we got Weapon Saitama
versus
Boros. I just say that
Boros fight. The animation on this was so good.
Didn't just obliterate this space pirate emperor guy.
The colours, the lights, everything, just like bam! Look at that!
Took over Zawarudo. There's nowhere to hide from Saitama. This is another one of those series that hit non-anime fans to just laugh and
it was funny.
At the media. Saitama versus Boros was such a beautiful light show of animation. You could not stop and pull your eyes away from the screen.
Yeah.
Every time I rewatch it, I find something else that I love about it, and
so good.
To watch it again. Just from the fact that the scale is so stupid. You know, kicking your opponent to the moon and he jumps back to slap you so hard, the mere clap of his ass cheeks was powerful enough to take down his opponents purely because he is dummy thick. Okay, most of that wasn't in Saitama versus Boros. That was more like in the Puri Puri Prisoner versus Deep Sea King. The fact that you get so hyped off of a meme battle still blows me away.
The animation's so good.
Most of them that pop in my head, at least from the ones I've mentioned, you know, Netero versus Meruem. This was like an existentialist fight. This was the end. You don't get much more serious than something like this. And it was mind-blowing, edge of your seat. Things that I've mentioned like Naruto versus Pain, the Marineford War, Ichigo versus Ukiura. There is no way you can tear your eyes from the screen because of the emotions and the ideologies and the themes that are clashing. And then you know what almost tops most of that? Saitama fighting Boros.
The cloud's moving with a
anyone in one punch, beating his opponent in one punch, literally kills the competition. I'm not saying it's necessarily better than any of these other fights I've mentioned, but if this didn't impact the entirety of the decade, I don't know what did. Welcome to January of 2016, where things only get worse. Or, well, better. Because on January 8th, the first episode of Erased aired, and, well, in retrospect, a lot of people harbor rather not the greatest of feelings towards the series, because the ending was not, well, the most wonderfully
you see, this is something else my girlfriend's watched I haven't seen.
Episode 1 kinda was. When Erased was actually airing,
need to check this out.
#1 on IMDb. You know, the thing that rates movies and shows, not just anime. No. It's like, you know, The Godfather was #2 for a minute while this thing was airing. Every episode drew me in once again to wait for the next one, and from episode 1, I knew it was a thriller to define the decade. Now, there was another episode 1 that aired January of 2016, and well, it was slightly different. It wasn't exactly as deep, dark, and corroded as Erased.
Right.
Time jumping, watching the same people die and again stuff. You know, it was Konosuba.
Oh my god, yeah?
A slightly more lighthearted take on people dying. Now, in 2012, we had Sword Art Online, and that opened up the floodgates for isekai anime. We had Log Horizon. We had No Game, No Life.
Yeah.
We had 1.5 million
oh my god, Konosuba's so good, man.
The same, with just a very slightly nuanced, different protagonist that was overpowered that got a harem. Somehow, in the span of 4 years, between 2012 and 2016, isekai almost became its own genre of anime. I mean, you have action, you got thriller, you got supernatural, and then you have main character gets hit by a truck and gets trapped in another world. You know, pretty straightforward stuff. The fact that a satire to a non-existent genre exists. Just goes to show how different anime has evolved.
Yeah, it's definitely changed over the last 10 years, yeah.
So, January 13th of 2016 was a very powerful day for anime. Aside from starting Konosuba, which to this day is one of my favorite isekai
It's
anime.
amazing.
It is a brilliant satire. Kazuma's an absolute mad lad, and his harem are all wonderful in their own way. January 13th also had Gintoki versus Takatsuki, the most heart-rending fight of Gintama. Gintama, for a lot of people, is that one show that you watched some clips of.
Just haven't seen it.
Because they had fart jokes. And it's pretty epic to watch people go
seems
full
funny.
Death Note on each other over, wiping your butt with toilet paper.
What?
But it's not something most people ever look at past the surface level. It's a very long anime. It doesn't have a dub, which means younger audiences won't get into it. It's shonen, and the comedy does take some time to get used to. Gintama is my favorite show of all time, and Gintoki versus Takatsuki is an
Oh my god,
episodic
me and my girlfriend were watching the top 10
like
anime
arcs.
fights
You
of the
got
last
some fight
decade, and
scenes
this
that
was
were
on the
like arc
list.
series, and it's like Ultimate Ninja Battle.
This was on the list.
Throwing curry at each other, and yes, that actually happened once.
This
When
does
the
look...
arcs actually get
yeah.
serious, and the story actually
This looks
gets
incredible.
dark, it's one of the greatest thrillers as well. And it's the constant switching back and forth that makes Gintama the beautiful hodgepodge of awesomeness that it actually is. Everyone that actually sits through Gintama ends up loving it so much. And Gintoki versus Takatsuki, it wraps up their backstories.
Doesn't it show how they grew up together and stuff like that?
Point, as they are two of the driving forces of the entire series, with Gintoki managing to be a lazy-ass dude that wants to do nothing more than sit at home and do nothing, but he's still the driving force. How brilliant is that? The idea that seeing his backstory can actually make you tear up is pretty unbelievable to think about when just a few episodes earlier he gave you a very inspiring speech on why peeing in bed is way better than actually getting up to pee because you can sit in your own warmth and not worry about the outside world. It's that guy that
Incredible.
can actually get you to cry over
Incredible.
how amazing of a progression his character actually had all the way from his backstory to the present. And this fight scene kind of went under the radar for most non-Gintama fans. It's not like it's an easy seasonal show to pick up. You gotta get invested. There's hundreds of episodes, but at the same time, for anyone that was invested, this was one of the greatest fights of all time. Moving on a little bit to April 18th of 2016, that is when ReZero Episode 3 aired, and that's when the isekai genre, because now that you have something like Konosuba as a satire of a genre, the genre can
ReZero,
now have things
man.
other
Season
than
2
your
next year.
borderline psychotic protagonist that's overpowered that gets a harem. Because this guy's pretty overpowered. He does get a harem, but at the same time, this isn't exactly the escapist
There's
fantasy
so
most people
much
envision.
suffering.
No, it's quite the opposite, in fact. Let's take everything you love about the isekai genre and twist it. Imagine a world that functions very much like Dark Souls. Imagine living Dark Souls.
God.
You know, the whole zero death meme? Well, that's kind of what's been going on with poor Subaru as well. He gets trapped in ReZero in this other world, and every time he dies, he kind of resets at his last save point, where everything he did until that point is something he remembers, but no one else does. It's actually terrifying, because there are times that he dies that he doesn't realize he died, and he wakes up, and all of a sudden, blammo!
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he's like, wait, what keeps happening here?
It's like the opposite of escapist fantasy. It's everything an escapist fantasy should be. Like, you got your magicians, you got your women, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, but the story is going to be about you slowly losing your mind little by little. And the deeper you get into this ridiculous, tragic mindset, the more psychotic your opponents become until you're like, oh, wait a second, who's wackier at this point in time? Is it me, who felt myself dying again and again and again and again in many various, very creative ways? Or is it Betelgeuse, this literal nutcase
so weird.
that makes giant
so
shadow
weird.
hands just twist people's body parts off because he feels like that's the best use of his time. I love ReZero, and I love what it did to the isekai scene, and I'm very excited that Season 2 is announced for a few months from now.
Yeah.
Both Rem and Amelia are worst girls. Roswell, absolutely top-tier waifu right there. But at this point, kind of in a new era. If you remembered all the massive, climactic, huge shonen battles, well, Marineford, Naruto versus Pain, and Ichigo versus Ukiura, 3 massive fights. In fact, they were in the big 3. They were all in 2010. Dragon Ball wasn't around for years at this point. It's time for a new set of shonen.
Oh, mate, My Hero Academia. Yes. So good. I loved it. It's like,
he's got no powers. Psych! He's got the best power. He wants wants to be a ninja. Deku wants to be a hero. There are some similarities here, but it was a breath of fresh air. Finally, a shonen anime adapted by a studio that actually, you know, adapts the manga and doesn't have 45% of the series filler.
Oh my god, it's so nice that they don't do anything like that.
Right now. And in this beautiful breath of fresh air, the first season ends on a really high note that very much excites everyone for what's to come. June 26, 2016, All Might fought Nomu. This fight was the adrenaline action pump that everyone needed for such a long time. We did not have an All Might versus Nomu in years. It was watching the pinnacle of the world actually fighting with his life on the line.
Oh my god,
his everything into this battle. This is the symbol of peace and the symbol that every single hero aspires to be. It's a fight that places a wonderful ceiling to this great shonen, where they show you, you see this fight, this top tier fight where, you know, All Might ends up breaking past his own limits, despite the fact that he's old, tortured, and weak. And he punches Nomu through the clouds.
Oh my god, so good.
Stratosphere. This is that obstacle. This is what Deku is going to surpass one day. It fills me with such elation to talk about a fight like this. This is the breath of fresh air that shonen anime didn't have in so long. All the shonens that everyone's been enjoying, Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball, One Piece, they've all started eons
ago,
we're most of us
into it.
Were anime fans.
It's nice to have something that can, let's see the beginning of something.
And on June 26th, when All Might fought Nomu, it cemented it as a legendary shonen.
It's like, you know, we're sticking with this.
Since then, we've had things like Black Clover, and even though I love the Black Clover manga, in the anime scene, I don't feel like it stood out enough to get a specific segment in this video. But you know, it did stand out. Something that fried the box office, something that played around Zawaru. On July 3rd of 2016, Your Name was played in theaters across the world.
Oh, yeah?
And it was an unforgettable movie. It was an actual masterpiece. We witnessed a masterpiece of an anime movie come to life before our eyes. Honestly, a lot of people were complaining that Your Name was overhyped to some degree. It came out at a pretty much the same time as The Silent Voice, and a lot of people liked The Silent Voice better. I personally preferred Your Name. It was like, you know, the typical Japanese style where you had one guy who lived in the big city and one guy who lived in a rural village. You also got your body swapping memes that are just amazing. You had that spark of supernatural that just flipped a generic love story and turned it into something truly beautiful. It was a story that transcended fate, and it was a story that I still hold very dear to me. Your Name is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, anime movie. And I do very much think it was the anime movie to define the last decade. Not only because of its monetary success that made other anime movies show up in other places around the world. Like, honestly, I can't remember an anime movie playing in theaters near me since, like, the Digimon movie in the year 2000.
Yeah, oh my god, mate, yeah.
You know what I mean? Since then, we've had movies like Konosuba, Bunny Girl Senpai, Komare, My Hero Academia, One Piece Stampede. Anime movies are creeping out into mainstream theater. Literally blocks away from my house. In a small movie theater, they played anime. What a crazy
That's crazy.
World.
It is crazy nowadays, but that happens now.
Everything to Your Name, but I do think Your Name was the anime movie of the last decade. And as far as trying new things, 9 days later on July 12th of 2016, history was made. Mob Psycho 100 premiering. Yes, written by the same writer as One Punch Man, and with the same art style in the webcomic, Mob Psycho had a vision that went into it that honestly, I haven't seen anywhere else. They ran with that relatively terrible art style that one uses in his webcomic. And they animated the crap out of it. It looks so beautiful. It feels so good. And despite the fact that it's this stupid art and it's a stupid kid, it's a generic.
The characters are so good.
It's probably one of the most emotionally touching anime of
it is. Oh, you're not wrong there. The emotions are there, man. You feel things, like the messages that they come across and how people deal with people.
With overarching plots, I feel like every mini episode,
dealing with your emotions and stuff,
arc is hitting me on an emotional level on an entirely different wavelength than the last one did. I love Mob Psycho 100. And honestly, I think the world is different because of it. This isn't a series that anyone would pick up. Everything else really needs to creep their way into the mainstream in order for people to talk about. Or they're just goddamn terrifying, so the entire community is up in arms about them. Things like ReZero, Erased, Parasite, Akame ga Kill, these were popular names that everyone was talking about. People were arguing over the little bits seats and biting their nails waiting for the next episode. Mob Psycho wasn't that type of show. Mob Psycho was kinda niche, and in that little niche, it created one of the most beautiful little masterpieces that you could never find outside of anime. I think Mob Psycho defined what anime could be without breaking into any mainstream or any large-scale conversations. Most anime don't make you feel like Mob Psycho.
No, man.
And speaking of feels, August 11th of 2016 is
go.
a day I will very clearly remember because that was when Shelter came out. Now, a lot of you probably haven't heard of Shelter.
No, I have not.
4 to 6
Be
minutes.
honest.
Essentially AMV. That's the whole anime. There's basically no dialogue. It's beautiful visuals, beautiful music, a collaboration between many different artists that no one would have ever expected to collaborate. And in this really short time, it tells a complete, vivid, gorgeous, and tragic story. I remember Shelter, and I rewatch it from time to time.
Shelter.
Without fail, it hits me in the field. It's like 6 minutes long, but it just goes to show.
Interesting. Oh god, I need to find this.
And where this medium is actually going. But as far as impactful moments in 2016, because we had a lot. Gintoki versus Takatsuki, All Might versus Nomu, Your Name, Shelter. Fam, September 8th, 2016 was the day Naruto fought Sasuke for the final time. Naruto is something that has been with me and with many of us for like our whole lives. This was that climax we were all waiting for. It was literally the end of an era. I can't think of many more impactful moments than the grand finale of Naruto finally ending his fight with Sasuke, which, well, that's kind of where the manga ended. The anime had to spin it out a little bit longer.
A little bit long, yeah, which is annoying.
Random ninjas to each other.
It was so good to see this.
Nothing really felt like the end of an era as far as anime goes, like Naruto
versus Sasuke, yeah.
I can only imagine the sadness of Luffy finding the One Piece mixed into the bittersweet finale that I'm sure Oda has planned. There's nothing in my life that's been with me for as long as Naruto from a media perspective, and watching it actually come to a close with a very satisfying final battle.
Oh my god, the fight was so good.
That's really something. It's the kind of impactful moment that after the screen goes blank, you just kind of sit back in your chair and think to yourself, damn, this massive story, these events that I've played on repeat in my brain over and over and over for years and years and years has finally come to a close. Naruto versus Sasuke, their final battle, was the end.
It was incredible, man.
Definitely one of the most impactful anime moments of this entire decade.
Definitely.
Naruto fans and just general anime fans alike kind of came together to mourn a solemn lament, thanking Kishimoto for the work he's put into the anime community and how he really built it up in the West to a large extent. It's not even close to my favorite fight in Naruto. Naruto versus Pain.
Oh no.
Versus Gaara, Obito
Kakashi versus Obito, yeah.
All these fights are leagues better than Naruto versus Sasuke in my
But
nothing actually felt like that impactful finale. The idea of an era ending is terrifying.
Yeah,
you
man.
finish school and you start moving on to college or whatever, even though you may be going to a better place where you are happier, there is a sadness there. The sadness of leaving part of who you were behind and knowing that there's no way to go back to that. I will no longer laugh and cry alongside Naruto on his masterful journey. There are many things I have to complain about the Naruto series, but one thing I have to say is that it has been with me for the majority of my life, and nothing is as impactful as it actually came to the close. But just as one shonen starts really slowing down, and when we feel like the void is here, that's when another shonen reared its ugly head once again. Do you remember when I told you how My Hero Academia was defining the new generation?
Yes.
Well, June 3rd, 2017 was the day that Deku fought
Todoroki.
in the
Oh my
tournament
god!
arc of My Hero Academia Season 2. As much as I loved All Might versus Nomu, Deku
This
versus
fight.
Todoroki, in my personal opinion, is leagues past any of that. The idea that Deku actually sacrificed his win in the tournament to get
To help
Todoroki
Todoroki.
Up is exactly
It's like,
the
come on, it's your
idealism that
work,
we
it's
want
not your
to
dad's.
see our
Just fight
protagonist
me.
push forward. At that very moment in time, our boy Deku was a hero.
Yeah.
This is the first time he grew as the symbol of peace in training in My Hero Academia. It's the first step of the shonen hero journey, and he took it. The entire community was on fire during Deku versus Todoroki.
Oh my god,
that
yes.
tournament bracket blew everyone's minds. Manga readers sat there all smug, but at that point,
Of course they do, because they always do.
Even though now I'm up to date with the manga, and everyone was placing bets on who they thought would win. The fact that the protagonist actually lost the tournament arc in the second round of the tournament is great. There were mad
So different.
vibes
It's like, come on.
and it was amazing to relive. I'm watching the preliminary stages of the shonen hero's life, and I love it. Deku versus Todoroki, that final clash between them, as Deku broke every bone in his body to punch at this explodey boy, will remain etched in my memory as my favorite moment of My Hero Academia, even though neither Deku nor Todoroki are my favorite characters. It's just, this is the quintessential shonen fight that I love and I'm happy to see. I'm honored to be part of the older generation, witnessing the new generation, wet behind
and seeing it
enjoy the
be so good.
and potential that a shonen really has. Now don't take this in a bad way, but Deku vs. Todoroki is generic shonen done perfectly.
Oh yeah.
But just like there are emotional highs when it comes to the most impactful moments of the last decade, there are also emotional lows. In September 29 of 2017, the final episode of Made in Abyss aired.
Ooh.
Now, Made in Abyss has since become one of my
I've still not seen it. Sorry guys.
Manga's top tier as well, and I'm very excited for the movie that's coming. But Made in Abyss was this one cour, 13 episode, random show that no one was expecting to be amazing before it came out. The first episode honestly blew my mind. It was that adventure setting that I love to see in anime, exploring a new world and seeing things that you would not be able to see anywhere else. I love that stuff. Add my favorite anime soundtrack in all of anime to that mix, and you're gonna get a great series regardless. Yeah, fun characters, you have a fun world that's just expansive and ever-growing. That's what I want to see. It's this adventure that can only happen in anime that I want to witness. But I asked for more than I bargained for. I asked for this fantastical tale that will be more than I can even imagine, and honestly, that's what I got. The final episode of Made in Abyss was the biggest feel moment I ever got watching anime. There's a reason why this short series is one of my favorite anime of all time. I think that this final episode took everyone by surprise a little. Everyone was very excited about something like Made in Abyss, calling it a great anime as far as seasonals go. But for me, it honestly defined the entire year of 2017. Looking at everything else that went on in 2017, nothing even stands out a little in comparison to something like Made in Abyss. Honestly, when it comes to seasonal shows, nothing stands out to me like Made in Abyss. And this came out of left field. No one saw it coming. Whenever there's a popular show going on, you got, like, the manga readers and the light novel guys in the background chuckling while drinking their scotch and smoking their cigars.
Yeah, because that's what they do.
Young fools, you don't even know what's beginning right now. Scallywag. As they continue to talk in their posh British accent. Because as we know, manga readers and light novelists all have posh British accents, okay?
Yes.
No one was ready for Made in Abyss, though. There was no posh manga reader that was expecting something like this. When I go into every season, I have people that tell me exactly what's going to be good and what's going to be trash just by the fact that they read everything that there is to read. This wasn't on the radar. The first episode took by surprise by how actually decent it was, and it only kept getting better from there. The finale, again, out of left field, blew everyone's minds. And tear ducts. And since then I have read the manga, and the next arc is actually even better. It's freaky how good Made in Abyss actually is. Just like the Abyss in this series is endless, and every twist and turn just opens so many more questions and room for adventure. That's what I love about anime. It's the boundlessness that's around every single corner that makes this medium so damn exciting. And Made in Abyss is a perfect example of something no one expected but was absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
Moving on to the year 2018.
2018.
It started with a bang. In January alone, on the 5th day of the new year, Netflix unleashed their wrath upon the anime community with Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they dropped the entire series, Devilman Crybaby, in one shot. Bam! They blew the entire internet's mind because this wasn't the typical anime animation that we're all used to. It's true, but it's something that you get over if you want to see the absolute savagery that went on in this show. Now, Devilman Crybaby is not necessarily my favorite anime. No, not by...
Everyone was talking about it, dude.
In that very year, we also had shows like Megalobox and Bunny Girl Senpai, which I both preferred to Devilman Crybaby.
Megalobox, so good.
That said, none of them impacted anime like Devilman. It basically gave infinite power to out-of-the-box anime authors to come up with what they want as long as they can do something good. It adapted the super old Devilman manga, which is always cool to see come back, and the ending was something no one expected, and no, I will not spoil it for you. One of the things I find so funny about anime is that it's regarded to be so childish, because here, when we think of cartoons, we're like, oh, like, you know, Teletubbies and Toy Story. Recently, there are a lot more adult-themed cartoons.
Yes,
like
there are.
Rick and Morty,
So
I think people are kind of changing their minds on that. But Devilman Crybaby is, let's just say it's not made for kids. Let's just say Kappa would love Devilman Crybaby. The community went crazy over it also, because only 5 days into the new year, an instant potential best anime of the entire year came out. Everyone was talking about it. It was all the rage, and Netflix became a massive competitor in this wonderful anime cesspool of streaming services that we will not be talking about here. Because in 2018, there was another scene that I think impacted the decade greatly, and it was on March 25th. It was when Goku and Frieza teamed up to fight Jiren. Now, I think that a lot of people expected Dragon Ball Super to show up somewhere here because, you know...
Yeah, but this was incredible.
But I don't think anyone expected this to be exactly what I was going to say. I think people expected me to talk about the fact that it came back, the fact that people were crazy about it, or the fact
I
that
thought
Goku
that, but
got
no.
Ultra Instinct, which is a really cool new form. But I
No,
don't
when
think
these two fought together, it was like,
anime
what?
Like the realization that Goku and Frieza teaming up to fight Jiren is literally your childhood coming back to bite you in the ass.
Yep.
In the good way, of course. I mean, I'm not...
Yeah, it's got a nice little nibble. I'm not
all ass-eating is a positive connotation on this channel, and this will probably be a meme that will never be used again. But watching our childhood come back for this epic finale of the Tournament of Power was something I was really glad to see. I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball fanboy on the planet, but I ain't gonna lie, I cheered like crazy.
Hell yeah. Oh, come on. It was so enjoyable. So, like, epic and just like, go on, oh my
It was a
God!
long journey until this point, and at long last we've reached
2019?
the current year, in fact. Wow, what a crazy coincidence, right? I mean, I'm talking about 2019, and it is 2019.
That's crazy.
Right now. Like, what? Every once in a while,
Nanny.
anime
World
needs a bit of a wake-up call. There needs to be a very exciting first episode that can kind of impact everyone.
Oh my God, yes, that first episode was
incredible.
incredible.
Anime can blow your mind, and occasionally it will.
I had just started talking to my girlfriend, who was my girlfriend at the time, and this was like, I was like, you gotta watch it.
It's something that's recommended for people the ages between like 13 and 17 or something. And the finale of the first episode just blows my mind every single time. I love this episode because I love the idea that anyone that actually watches this is going to get a pretty damn good idea what they're walking into for the rest of the show, and they're by no means wrong. As someone who's up to date with the manga, it only actually gets better and more sinister from where the first
I can't wait for season 2, man.
Wake-up call that I think the world desperately needs every couple of years. Whether it's Attack on Titan's first episode, which, let's be honest, it shook Sawara, or it's Devilman Crybaby dropping in one shot, blowing everyone's mind, or it's a little bit of child murder that, you know, every good show needs. Next, June 15, 2019, it's time for some Sasageyo, because here's where Attack on Titan really makes its comeback. Attack on Titan had a ridiculously long break between Season 1 and Season 2, and I feel like a lot of the people
Season
that
3, man,
loved Attack on Titan
was
started swarming towards it, and the rest of the medium of anime at this point are more basic anime fans that aren't here for a single series, or they just don't care about Attack on Titan anymore. Having a 6-year break between Season 1 and 2 is asinine. So, like everything that got extremely overhyped at a point, people started dissing Attack on Titan. Oh, the characters are pretty bland. Oh, the story's pretty boring.
Where are the Titans? There's no Titans in Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan comes back
in Season 3.
Slap your face! Boom. Because June 15 of 2019 is the episode that Erwin led the charge.
Oh my God.
Everyone ate their goddamn pants. That's when Attack on Titan was like, damn, it's worth the hype and more. The manga's even better.
Can't wait for the final.
Let's not kid ourselves. Attack on Titan is going to be remembered as a modern classic,
yep.
and it will end in the next decade. So, just letting you know in advance, in 10 years, if YouTube didn't completely become an AI-mastered corporate cesspool, and I'm still around somehow, definitely subscribe to wait for when it comes out. Subscribe 10 years in advance for the epic series.
This will open up the decade.
One of the most impactful moments of, you know, the next decade has got to be the finale of Attack on Titan. I mean, the current arc is phenomenal. And I think Erwin leading his charge
was
really
so good.
The anime community
My
exactly
God.
why it's hailed as one of the greatest anime of all time. A month later, on July 8th, a lovely series started called
Vinland Saga.
Now, Vinland Saga dropped the first 3 episodes in one
Still
shot to kind
haven't
of get you
watched
with
it.
the Viking war that was going on, and I think it did a pretty good job at that. In my personal opinion, Vinland Saga is the greatest anime to begin in 2019, not including sequels, and I don't mean that by like a little margin, I mean that by a long shot. Vinland Saga is the ultimate Viking anime, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't know about it. It's on Amazon Prime, it's not like it's on Netflix or Crunchyroll, and it's not appealing to the more generic shonen fandom that isn't really interested in watching anime Vikings. You can watch real Vikings for that price. And while I do hear that argument, Vinland Saga's story is fantastic, and the characters are even better. The reason why I'm including it here on the most impactful anime of the last decade is because Vinland Saga is a manga that began like 15 years ago. It was one of those untouchable
like, I remember being in Blackpool Waterstones, and they just had all of it, and I was like, why is there so much manga?
There was Vinland Saga, Berserk, Vagabond, and Kingdom. Every anime adaptation made for these 4 kings of manga has never been done justice. Berserk was a train wreck. The 1997 Berserk was literally better animated than the 2016. Kingdom also got a crapshoot of an animation job, and because of that, no one gets to read the story. And while I did start it at one point and get like 50 chapters in, and it was really damn good, and I should actually pick it back up. Everyone says it only gets better, and it has like 600 chapters or something. It is a shame that we're not getting a proper anime for something like that. These 4 manga, which I always considered untouchable as the 4 kings of manga that would never get a proper anime adaptation, I was wrong. Vinland Saga is being given an ultimate treatment.
It does look good, man.
Wit, known for animating, you know, little-known series like Attack on Titan. Vinland Saga is the hope for something like Vagabond, Berserk, or Kingdom to actually get a decent anime. It's a beacon in the darkness for the 4 kings of manga. And as far as, you know, really good anime adaptations go, I feel like it's pretty important to talk about August 10th, 2019.
Yeah?
A little-known anime named Demon Slayer had episode
nearly finished season 1 now.
trending worldwide on Twitter.
Here we go, yeah.
It doesn't usually happen. It seldom happens.
This was a boss episode. I'm on episode 21 now.
One Piece chapters, but for a random seasonal anime to trend worldwide to the point
that
that
was
actual
boss.
Celebrities are tweeting out that it's the best anime ever, which it's not, but it's good. That's something
decent.
Amazing. Tanjiro versus Rui in Demon Slayer caught my breath and took it away. The music, the art,
everything about it is just incredible, man.
Every scene into the next, the feels, the whole concept of why Tanjiro and Nezuko are the perfect combo to take down someone like Rui, and why they're fated to be the Demon Slayers to save the day. Everything is in that episode and in that fight. If you claim you weren't holding back tears watching that beautiful fire erupt from his sword as that music played in the background that was
so good.
His late father's dancing, you must be some kind of machine. It was gorgeous for the eyes, ears, and soul. And even though a lot of people are kind of over Demon Slayer, and they're making fun of Demon Slayer for being overhyped, you cannot take the beauty away from this scene. It is literally art in motion. And well, we're rapidly approaching the end of the year. This video is like an hour long, so I don't know how awesome my editor's gonna be. Thank you, by the way, Mr. Awesome Editor Guy. You are a true mad lad for putting up with my shenanigans. You will be linked in the description. Fam, check out Awesome Editor Guy. He does good shiz on his channel too. You are truly the mad lad we didn't deserve. But on December 21st, 10 days, 10 small days before the new year, we had a moment that impacted anime this decade. And it was that little-known time where Luffy fought Kaido, the King of the Beasts. So in the manga, this scene was amazing, and the anime actually did it justice. I'm so happy that the anime is giving Wano a proper adaptation, and this was no exception. The reason why I consider this one of the most impactful moments of the year is because not only does it show the massive gap between someone like Luffy, who we've been following forever, and, you know, Kaido, one of the emperors, he's supposed to be able to take down emperors already, but he got kicked so bad. It just goes to show how much more One Piece has in store for us, and how amazing the Wano arc is gonna be. Because, let's be honest, the Wano arc is probably gonna take up half of the next decade. I'm loving every chapter. But the real reason why I wanted to finish off here is because one of the first things I mentioned in July of 2010 was the Marineford War.
Oh, right, yeah. It's still 10 years later. It's just like, boom.
Emperors were basically introduced an entire decade ago. I feel like this is a perfect way to wrap up this video. It's a perfect way to wrap up a basic documentary on the most impactful moments in anime.
That's cool.
The last decade, 2010.
Amazing.
We talked about the Marineford War, where emperors were introduced and how much longer One Piece has to go. And now, in December of 2019, we have Luffy getting his butt kicked by Kaido, an emperor, reminding us how much more there is in One Piece.
Still to come.
Much further Luffy has to go. One Piece is that beacon of hope. That one thing that's through thick and thin, it's sticking with us, fam. Here's to One Piece outlasting another decade. Thank you everyone who watched this video. Thank you everyone who worked in the anime industry and that did anything to keep this medium alive. It's such a beautiful little niche that we share in this crazy, unforgiving world, and I'm so happy to be able to share it with you. Please leave a like on this video if you did enjoy, because honestly, it was a ton of work to put together. Imagine sorting through literally everything that happened
does sound like a lot.
finding the date that it did happen, write a cohesive script, and just record it. My throat feels like death right now. But fam, I really wanted to do this justice, because this last decade, all things considered, was pretty damn awesome for, well, a hell of a lot of ways. I just listed in this video. Please subscribe if you enjoyed, because when I do serious analysis-ish videos, I really try to put my back into it. I don't want to half-ass it. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me, and here's to sharing many, many more. Have yourselves the most wonderful evening, and remember,
Stay with him. Boss. So yeah, thank you guys for insisting that I check that out. I really liked that. That was a really good look at the last 10 years. That was boss, some really impactful stuff there, and some things that I need to check out. Yeah, so there we go. Thank you guys very much for watching. What did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe, and leave comments down below. Let me know what you want to discuss in future videos, and I will see you guys. Next time.